This is Greg Troutwine with Marine Technology TV, and we're very pleased to be joined today by Felipe Lima, CEO of USEA Ocean Data, to discuss recent news from his company that is leading to the construction of a 24-meter uncrewed ship. Felipe, to start, can you give us a short introduction of USEA Ocean Data and its mission, with a by-the-numbers look at USEA today using the metrics of your choice?
So, Greg, as you know, the oceans cover more than 70% of our planet's surface, and it remains mostly unexplored. The more we learn about the oceans, the more we realize that how much it is still unknown. But even with the limited knowledge that we have of our oceans, we already know that the oceans are keeping for us an important part of the solutions for the main challenges of our society today. And we can name them energy, raw materials, food. So if the oceans were a country, it would be actually the seventh largest economy in the world. It has a GDP of, if I'm not mistaken, approximately 2.5 trillion euros per year. It's actually ahead of Brazil and Italy, to put that in perspective. And it's also the largest, the fastest growing in the world. So to unlock this endless source of sustainable wealth and solutions, we need ocean data, a lot of data, actually. But data collection using traditional methods is neither sustainable nor efficient. And that's our inspiration. In USEA is one of the pioneers in the ocean data revolution. And our mission is to unlock blue data for a green future.
Why don't you talk a little bit about yourself? How did you get involved in this business, in this industry, the ocean industry?
Yes. Well, I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I grew up in a small town just outside Rio, and basically I grew up by the sea, diving, fishing, sailing a laser, and I learned from my first years to admire and to respect the ocean, but also with I can say with a great sense of fascination too. So in that sense, I think I can say that the ocean has always been part of who I am. Then I joined the Brazilian Navy. I got my education there. After 4 years, I decided to leave and get my first engineering degree. Then I started my career in oil and gas as a subsea engineer. I worked in Subsea 7, Nike Solutions, Exodus Group. I developed all kinds of subsea systems for oil and gas. And that's when I discovered a new passion. That was marine robotics and subsea survey.
So, you know, as you said, USEA's mission is getting data from the ocean, and there's a lot of data to get. But getting data from the ocean efficiently, effectively is a mandate for many private companies and organizations today. How is the USEA approach unique?
Yeah, well, there are many very interesting solutions emerging out there. A lot of smart folks with great ideas, and I think all of them can contribute and will to a better future. But we in USEA have made our bet on something that we really believe to be a game changer, and that is the combination of let's say the unbeatable efficiency of autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, and sustainability, the cost efficiency, and the inherent safety of unmanned surface vessels, USVs. But we haven't solved just part of the AUV USV integration. We have actually gone all the way. Our vessel will operate totally unmanned from day one. It will be able to operate one or multiple AUVs as a mothership. It will operate over the horizon, virtually in any weather condition. and it can be at sea also for very long periods, more than a month if necessary. And thanks to our proprietary ULARs, we can also keep recharging AUV batteries and transferring data without recovering the AUVs from the deck. And this enables us to continue the operation even in very rough seas, where everyone else would normally have to stop and wait on weather.
So Felipe, as you know, as we discussed, I've been coming to Norway for 30 years, and I know the Norwegian maritime cluster is a very good cluster to be engaged in dealing with those next generation maritime technologies. And I understand that your organization recently received an approval from the Norwegian Maritime Authority that appears to be instrumental in your quest to create that next step in vessel autonomy. And that being, as you referenced, a ship with no crew on board that is designed to not only launch and recover AUVs, but to recharge and transfer the data too. Can you just go a little bit deeper dive into that with what specific hurdle did you just pass, and what challenges lie ahead to bring this from concept to reality?
Yes, that's a great question. Over the last 5 years or so, we have cracked the technology challenge. That box is ticked. But when we're talking about operating a ship with no one on board, the regulatory challenge is just as big. And many forget that. All the rules, standards, conventions are based on the premise that there is a crew on board. There are people on board on the ship. And that's how the maritime industry has evolved. IMO, maritime authorities, they're very professional and loyal to their purpose. And they're not willing to bend the rules unless they're totally convinced that your unmanned ship is equally safe or even safer than operating an equivalent manned ship. So the hurdle that we have passed is exactly that. At the end of a very thorough and lengthy evaluation process by the Norwegian Maritime Authority, we have convinced them that our unmanned ship is safe to operate, totally unmanned from day one, without any need for transition period. And finally, they had given us the green light to build the vessel.
So to date, when all is said and done, how much has been invested to date in the system? What's the source of your funding, and what is your timeline for commercialization?
Yes, source of funding. So far, we have focused our energy on solving the technology and the regulatory challenges. We have closed a few investment rounds from the first in 2018 to the latest that was last year, 2022, and that was with private investors that basically believed in us since the beginning. We have also been quite successful in receiving public support, both from Norway and the European Union. These rounds amount to approximately 3 million euros, and that's how we got this far. Now the next step is to turn our unique technology and also the regulatory approval that you talked about into basically a profitable business. So to start delivering to our customers, we need to invest in tangible assets, in expanding our workforce, and to fund the next step, then we're looking at approximately 20 million euros from investors that share our values and our ambitions. And our plan is to be fully commercial, in operation in approximately, say, 24 months from now.